All right, here we go. Another episode of TDM Talk. We got a very special guest in the building. We got Nicole of Houston Hottie Social Hour
Yes.
and much more. And we're gonna
Yes.
get into all of that. We'll get into all. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a gloomy day today, but that's
Yeah,
okay. It's all good.
you know
Peace of
what? As long
weather.
as it wasn't raining, so I think that's
Exactly.
cool. So we were talking a little bit before off camera about how we connected because this is our first time,
Yeah.
actually meeting in person. But you do so much, and I want to start with that with the Houston Hottie
Yeah.
Social Hour. Like, how did that start?
So, originally, I'm actually a licensed esthetician.
Okay.
And so I do lashes, facials, brows, and I have my own business called Your Fave Brow Babe.
Okay.
And during COVID, I was working from
Yeah.
home. And after COVID, I was still working from home doing my business. But I was honestly feeling like cabin fever. I was lonely. I was starting to feel like I was sinking into almost a depression because I work from home. I take care of my kids. I never left my house. And I wanted to get out of the house and start meeting other women entrepreneurs, women who are like-minded like me,
Yeah.
women who were just working towards the same goal and just wanted more than just the regular day-to-day. So I started reaching out to some of my friends, and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. Can y'all help me out? Will y'all come out and make a video with me to promote an event I'm gonna host? And I hosted my first event, and I had 75 women show
Oh
up.
wow.
Yeah, we had 16 vendors. And at that point, I had no Instagram following, like nothing,
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how many women came. And then after that event, people were like, when is the next one? What are you doing next? Where can I be at, this event? I want to be a part of this, or
Yeah.
I missed out. What's happening now? And it took off so quick. I've barely not even hit 2 years of doing this yet. And our group has grown to almost 6,000 women.
Wow.
Yeah, it's intense. And I love it because I'm able to meet so many different women in
Yeah.
different industries and then highlight their businesses and give them the shine that they deserve. And really just pour into the community. So I'm originally from Houston. I'm born and raised Houston, but I did move and I lived in New York and Vegas. And
Oh
then when I
wow.
came back, I was like, all right, I'm back in Houston, but I don't know anybody anymore because I left for so long. And,
Yeah.
friends that I had growing up, they have their own lives now.
Yeah.
So,
Grow apart
yeah,
type of thing.
exactly. Or,
Yeah.
you just do different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Of
You take
course.
different career paths, or you have kids, you don't have kids. And so when I came back from Vegas, I was just, yeah, I was really lonely. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I'm a very social person. I thrive
Yeah.
in social environments. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, okay, how can I use my just personality
Yeah.
to bring other people together. And one thing I've noticed with Houston Honey Social Hours, women will come and they're like, oh, I almost didn't come today. I was so nervous. But then thankfully I have this welcoming, like, social
Yeah.
personality. They're like, I met you and I felt so welcomed right away. I
Correct.
instantly, the nerves are gone. I'm so happy I came. So women who are normally introverts are coming out to our events and realizing it's not that scary.
I
Like,
love that.
yeah, so it's been
Well,
good.
I've had that here where somebody it'll be their first time doing an interview on any kind of
Yeah.
podcast or anything really, and then after they'll be like, "Man, you made me feel so." Because I don't like to call them interviews. It's more
Yeah.
like a
A
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah, because I really like to kind of. You see, I don't have any
Yeah.
notes. Like I just freestyle it. I
Yeah.
wing it. I like to kind of just as if we were just having a
Yeah.
conversation. And then with most people, I think that brings out their best because it's their honest true to form
Yes.
self because if you prepare questions, a lot of times I get like, can you send me the questions? I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't have any. Like, if
Yeah.
we're just gonna talk about you, you just tell me what's
Yeah.
going on with you. So when you did your first event, right? Like, and you said you had 75
Yeah.
women that came out. How many of those were like close friends, like, or that you actually knew?
Yeah, I would say it was like 50-50.
Okay,
I would say
okay,
about half of them were
yeah,
like people that I already had
mm-hmm.
met and knew, and then half of them were brand new connections.
That's
And
dope.
now when I'm doing events, it's still the same. Like, we
Yeah.
have returning guests and then we have new guests.
It's always
And
good to see the new faces.
yes, it
Yeah,
is. I love it. And then obviously catch up with the girlies who've been coming to the
yeah,
events. And so I love to say I'm a connector. So what I'll
yeah.
do is I'll have someone who's like a veteran in Houston Hottie and a newbie, and I'll be like, like, hey, I want you to meet someone. And the veterans know if I'm going to bring a girl to you and be like, hey, meet each other, they know, let's welcome her in. And I'll let them know, hey, this is her first time to a Hottie event. Show her around, give her the tea. So yeah.
We sound a lot alike because I do the same thing. I'm always connecting people, and even when we have our events, we'll have artists performing, and then I'll start seeing them collab. They'll be like, oh, I saw so and so at your event. I wanted to work with them, and then now I see them. This past year we had artists from Washington, Delaware, Maryland, Atlanta come down. Yeah,
that's amazing.
On their this is them just saying, I want to be a part of what you're doing. I said, man, come out. And then now they're doing songs with artists from Houston.
I love that.
And I think it's just so dope. And we talked about the power of networking, like how important that is. So with the brow business, what you do, how long have you been doing that?
So I've been an esthetician now for I've been an esthetician for 5 years, and I started working in a salon, but when COVID happened, they laid me off, and that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start working from home. And at first I was nervous to work from home because I was like, man, everyone's used to coming and seeing me in a salon setting. And at home, I have my kids. I have 3 kids. They're 10 months, 4 and 7.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're loud, and they play. So I was telling my clients, when you come to my house, like, you're probably going to hear my kids, you're probably going to hear my husband, but then people were coming and they were like, I don't mind, and I think the difference that it was when they go to the salon, each time they go to the salon to get their brows or lashes, they could be put with a different person.
Yeah.
But coming to me directly, they know they're getting the same quality service from me every single time. They know, I feel like it's more personal because they'll come for one appointment and they'll tell me like, oh, I'm going on vacation, or, oh, I broke up with my boyfriend, or, my dad's health isn't that good. And then they come again and I'm like, hey, how was your vacation? How was your dad?
You start to build that bond and that relationship.
Yes, exactly. So it makes it like my clients eventually, they become like my friends and family because I know so much about them. We talk so much during their appointments, and I feel like that's what's made my business successful for me is like I'm giving that personal touch, that personal interaction, and taking time to see them and hear them.
I was just gonna say that like there's nothing more important to people than reaching them on a personal level. Yeah, we can business all day, and keep it cordial or whatever, but when you get personal, that it's almost like that relationship lasts longer that way because it's like, damn, about me. I kind of liken that to like us with barbers, like with our barbers, I don't know, like if me and my barber stopped talking or whatever, fell out or whatever, right? I was like, damn, I wouldn't know where to go, I would feel weird because I've been going to him so long, and I like the work that he does. So I understand what you're saying. I think that's not a trait that everybody has though.
No, and I honestly, I think it's just kind of like my morals and values and like the way I was brought up was to always, treat everyone the way you be treated. My mom's favorite thing to say is, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And I feel like that was like graved in my head, so and I think that's kind of what makes me able to get along with so many people as well, because I'm not a negative person in that way, and I'm very optimistic when it comes to, opportunities and situations. But talking about networking, I feel like there's a movement happening right now with networking in Houston because, I'm not the only women's organization here in Houston. There's so many women's organizations that are blooming right now, and so many, honestly, in every industry, it seems like there's a new community forming in all different types of industries. And I feel like it's kind of a movement, and I really enjoy seeing how Houston has so many diverse communities, and they're all collaborating, like me and you collaborating today. I always promote collaboration over competition, and I love to see the shift that's happening in the community. They say Houston is strong. We're such a like, even though the city is so big, if you know somebody,
it's small.
Everybody.
It's big, but it's small. Yeah,
exactly.
Because we get to talking. Like I know every time I meet someone that I new, and we get to talking, I always end up knowing someone they know. They be like, do you know, just how we were talking about, well, and I know because we're both networkers like that we had way more people in common than we do. So it's finally good to be able to, connect with you, because I'm sure I might have seen you, someone post your stuff before, and me not knowing what it was, because again, I see stuff across my timeline all the time. But once we reached out, or I don't know however it was that we connected on the gram, but I was like, yo, I think this would be a dope. Like, I already knew instantly. I said, yo, this would be a dope interview. Just by, I went through your page. I was like, yeah, this is going to be dope. Like, we got to set it up.
Thank you.
Negativity and backlash in the industry. Like, because you said collaboration over competition. I like to always say, if we can both win, why not?
Yes,
as opposed to why do you got to win, or type of thing. But I feel like regardless of, at least for me, right? We always try to promote positivity as well, and try to kind of just do the best. Like, I want to try to be as professional as possible. Like, I really want to be taken serious as a business owner, a business person, a person that does media, a person that runs his events and things like that. But there comes negativity with that.
Yeah.
Like, people don't like that, I think. Have you faced anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes there can be, especially in women's world, women can tend to get catty. And I feel like women are almost known for drama. We see all the reality TV shows, the Real Housewives, all this. And women are portrayed very like feisty, and I think I have. Well, okay, this is a hard topic because.
Well, it was a second part to that. I really wanted to ask, like, I know you've dealt with it, but how do you deal with it?
So my main thing is usually what I've realized is people are going to be envious. People are going to be, my mom was they're jealous of you, mom, my whole life. Okay. So I've always had I feel like, even though I've had so many friends, I've always almost felt like an outsider in some ways, because I've always been very ambitious and very goal oriented my whole life.
Okay.
I used to be a dancer, and as for ballet, let me be specific. I used to be a ballerina. I used to be a ballerina. So my mom had me in ballet from the time I was little. I went to college in New York, and aspiring to be a professional ballerina. I would go to dance practices like 6 a.m. in the evenings, on the weekends.
That's
I was
dedication.
So I've always been very if I want something, I'm working for it.
Correct.
So I've always felt a little bit of kind of backlash for that. But what I've realized is usually if someone is on the outside hating on you in some way or another, it's because of how they feel.
Yeah.
And so I've realized a lot of people project their own insecurities on you.
Correct.
And so what I've just realized is, okay, if I've come across someone and now the tables have turned, they don't like me anymore for whatever the situation may be, I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I'm like, it is what it is. I'll let you run with the story that you made up in your head, and I'm gonna keep going on my path. And one of my good friends, her name is Dove. She has a business called Virago Luxe. It's skincare.
Okay.
Something she said to me just a week ago was, if you're focused on your path, don't worry about what's happening on the sides. Just stay right here. No need to look and deter, because these other people that are saying whatever on these other sides, it's just going to take you off your path, And that's just what I've realized is I'll let you have the story you want to have, and I don't need to go and defend myself. And as an adult, if something has happened, I'm a big enough person to apologize and be like, oh, I'm sorry I missed this. I'm sorry I didn't communicate that well. I hope, you can accept my apology. And that's part of being adult, is learning how to communicate.
I think with people like us, it's more of it wasn't an intentional thing.
Yes.
It's more of something they read something the wrong way. Yeah. And it could have been on us where we didn't communicate it maybe the way we thought, or maybe we think, oh man, I think they got the message. Man, it was so much in that's so deep, that because I like to think the same way when when I end any kind of relationship with anybody, whether it's a relational or whether it's a business, I'll straight up with them like, look, this is not working out. We're gonna go our separate ways. And I think some people don't know how to let that go.
Yeah, they take it personal.
They do, and you can't take business personal. Correct. You can't. It's hard. It was hard for me to understand that because as a person that grew up in the hood and from the streets, I was like, yo, I feel like you disrespected me, you know, but it's like, nah, it's just business. Like, and that's what I want people that's watching this to know that, like, yo, man, like, don't take it personal.
Yeah, exactly. Because going to dance and going to so many auditions, I heard so many no's, so many times, you know, like as someone who's had to put herself out there, just so many people told me no. When I was first starting Houston Honey Social Hour, I was reaching out to people with no following. And I'm like, hey, I'm putting on an event. Would you like to be a vendor? Nope, no response. Left me on red. Didn't send me anything. But now that I have a following, these same people that I first was like, would you please be a part of it? Now they want to reach back out to me. And now I'm like, I'll welcome you because I don't hold grudges. I let it go. It is what it is. You know, maybe you didn't know who I was before, but you know me now, and now you want to be a part of it. So, hey, come on. It's business. I'm not going to take it personal because, you saw me with no followers and you're like, who is this girl think she is trying to put on an event? Well, now I've proven myself, and now you're like, you know what? I'm trying to be on that too.
God, we sound. I literally same thing. Like I can name the accounts on Instagram that you know when I reached out about a possible like, collab or whatever, it was like left on red or would just like my comment, you know, or my message, and then I just go on about my business, you know, and then a year or so later when they start to see the growth and the movement, kind of, you know, they were like, oh, now they reaching out, now they want to work, you know, and it's funny to me, but I get it. Yeah. Because to me, if it makes sense business wise, why not? I'm not the type, you know, I'm trying to grow and make money.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole part where you said, if I can win, you can win. Like we can all win. Yeah. It's true. It's 100% true. Like I said, the city is so big. There's plenty of money for everybody in this city. Plenty of resources. Plenty of opportunities. And where else was I? You said, if you can win, I can win. So I just opened a creative studio in the Heights. Okay. So that's my newest venture. Okay. It's small. You can fit about 15 people in there, but it's a start for me to have a venue to now host events at. Oh. And I had some women come out and check out the space, and I'm letting all these women know, look, if you rent my space to have an event here, I'm going to promote and market your event for you, because if your event is successful, well, then I'm successful. Correct. And I love to tell the women in my community that just because I do events doesn't mean I can't have other women in my community who also do events. So I always tell women, if you want to do an event, let me know. I'm going to share it because you're a part of my community and I want you to be just as successful, if not more successful than I am. I
go so hard for my people. Yeah. Like we, you know, people who are vendors or even artists that will reach out and open doors for me, so to speak. I go the extra mile as well for them, you know. So I get it because, like you said, I want to see them win. You know, we always have new vendors because, of course, a lot of them are just not really consistent or life happens. Yeah, and that, you know, so it's like, okay, we got to find somebody else that sells tacos, or we got to find somebody else that does because that person couldn't do it or whatever. Yeah. So we're always, you know, so I mentioned how we do a live audience. Once a month, we do a live audience podcast at the Mood Room. And I actually reached out to my boy, Chicano Barbecue, you know, about...
I know him as well.
Yeah, he's done a lot of my events early on.
Good.
He's doing the damn thing.
Yeah,
I'm proud
especially
of him.
for a young entrepreneur. Yeah. I love to see young entrepreneurs like already. I'm like, yes, because I always think, man, when I was younger, I wish I would have been more focused on these things. Yeah. But so I love to see it when the younger generation is like...
It's motivating. Yes. And I feel proud because I remember a couple years back when he was doing my events, he was starting. Yeah. He, you know, of course he wasn't where he's at now, but I mean, every event, hey bro, I sold out. I'm like, that's good. Yeah. You know, and that's one thing that I want for all the vendors that come do my events. I know they won't all sell out. Yeah. But if the majority do, it's a win-win because then they'll want to do my events again because they're like, well, we know we can make money over there because people actually go to the events and whatnot. So it's a blessing. But yeah, I had asked him to come do the first ever, podcast that we did, and he couldn't. He was kind of like, man, I already got something, but let me try. I said, look, bro, if you can't, I get it. Look, I can give that opportunity to somebody else, and I did to another barbecue vendor that did my toy drive, and and now he's. Yeah, like I said, we're always looking to like open doors for people, so to speak. Because now the owner of the bar, Carlos, he wants to work with him, like bring him other dates,
That's
so
awesome. It's
I
just
love that.
Being a connector and connecting people. It's honestly, I feel like it's probably the most rewarding part about having events is seeing the connections being formed, seeing these people collaborate with each other, and knowing like, man, I introduced them, and now they have this. Going back to vendor markets.
Okay.
All right. So vendors, 100%, I go to bat for them. I noticed that there's a lot of people now doing vendor markets. Yeah. And it's not always a good opportunity.
No.
And I feel like nowadays the vendors have to like vet who they're going to and double check and ensure that the event they're going to is a legitimate event, because I've seen another vendor I know, she let me know that she went to an event and she paid like $150 for a vendor spot.
Oh my goodness.
No one showed up.
I believe it.
No one showed up. It looked like the promoter of the event didn't even do any promoting because the event was dead. Yeah. And I've noticed people charging crazy vendor prices, and I'm like, what do you get for that? You just get a space, if you're charging $150, you're not giving them nothing else. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up, because I know I don't think it was either on either agenda, but now that we're on that, I think so. What we do at our events, right? The most I think I've ever charged was like $50.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe for like a food vendor, it might have been $75, but that's for like our big event of the year where we literally get hundreds of people that show up.
Affordable.
It is affordable. Very cheap compared to what I've been seeing. I was like, and I had a vendor tell me like, "Yo, you're very cheap, bro." And I was like, "I need to go up," you know. But
we're doing it for the community.
Yeah, because I want you to make money. Yes. Like the money that I'm getting up there, I usually use that to pay my DJ or to kind of
exactly. It's to cover expenses.
It's to cover expenses. Yes. It's not really for me to pocket,
Yeah, exactly.
And so what a lot of people do, and I hate this with a passion. And I'm sorry if you do this, but I don't like it. And I've told my vendors this. You sign up, you pay your fee, and then they put all the logos on one flyer, and I can't tell who's.
No, exactly. No.
And I hate that.
I'm glad we're talking about this. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so for my vendors, I make each of them a personalized flyer.
We do too.
And then I get content of them before the event and then day of the event. So I'm actually I'm having a women's entrepreneur conference in August.
Okay.
And it's my largest conference I'm expecting like 300 plus guests. I'm providing valet for VIP tickets. There's a lot of perks that are coming into this event, but my vendor fee for this one is the most expensive I've ever charged. Normally my vendor fee is $75.
Yeah.
This event, I'm charging $200. And I was really nervous to charge that because most of my vendors, they're not used to paying that.
Yeah.
But I'm providing a lot of benefits. So I'm creating brand videos for them. They also get 2 additional free tickets to the event to use as like an IG promo to help get more followers for them.
That's smart.
Yes. They're getting content the day of. So I'm having videographers come and do a whole video of them with their vendor set up.
Nice.
So they also are going to get materials to continue to promote their business.
Of course.
And then on top of that, I'm giving them like a list of all the attendees. So everyone who came to the event, they'll get their email list. So then they can go and reach back out and be like, hey, I met you at this event. Here's my website. Here's a coupon for your next purchase. Wow. So I'm offering additional perks, and then I'm feeding them as well. I'm providing a meal for them and beverages.
Man.
They're also getting to I'm doing a digital magazine. So they get an article, whole article in our digital magazine.
That's badass.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this fee was high, but how can I make sure it's worth it for my vendors. Like,
correct.
You know, because I'm like, I don't want them to think, oh, she's just a money grab. Like $200, she's going to use that to go shopping, you know? No, but this is my biggest event yet. We're having content stations. We're having goodie bags, welcome gifts. We're providing so much for the community with this event. We're doing hands-on workshops where they can learn an actual skill to use in their business. And and so it's gonna be a big event.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you.
I was gonna tell you,
hey,
you should
I'm
come
there.
And do some media for me. Do some interviews. Yes,
say less.
I would love that.
Look, say less. I'm there.
Yeah.
I love to do that. I've done very selective with it, but because I'll get asked to come to an event and do media, and of course, like you said, sometimes you go and it's just vendors. It's just the vendors themselves, and they're just pretty much buying from each other. No one's really there, and then it's kind of like. But I've interviewed I'll go around and interview damn near every vendor I can. You know, we've had Bodioland. I don't know if you know that. You know, Bodioland. I mean, just about any and everybody has been out there. We've interviewed. You know, can we try to shed light, especially if we believe in the product?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yo, this is really good stuff. Like, we want people to. They used to actually sponsor the podcast. You know, but with drinks. Javi would bring us drinks, and we
awesome.
put them on the counter.
Exactly.
You know,
need the marketing.
Product placement. You know, the marketing. Yeah,
so. It's just like movies, how they show a Toyota car. Like that's marketing. You know. So 100%.
No, I love that for you and for anybody, and I'm gonna definitely share this with my network because we have a lot of women who are vendors and do amazing food and amazing just everything, different type of things. I had a vendor just not that long ago. They did their first event with us at our toy drive. Yeah. She did really well.
That's awesome.
And she was like, this is probably the best event we've ever done. And then they went to one not too long ago and she was like, there was nobody there. Oh, and I was like, I hate that. And I told him, I was like, be careful. Yeah. Don't just sign up.
Yeah, really do your research. I know. I have one girl, it was her first vendor event. And she sold out. And at the end of the event, she came to me and she was like crying, like happy tears. And then I started crying. Yeah. It's exciting. And like to see them when they start a brand new business and then they do their first event with you and then they sell out. It's like, like you're just so happy that they achieved that and you were able to help them.
No doubt. So you guys that are watching, man, if you're a vendor, we'll definitely probably clip this part and share it. I'll share it with my network. We have about I have a group chat on Instagram with about 60 vendors. Yes. And we share events with each other. And matter of fact, I'll probably add you. That way you can just kind of promote what you got, and have them, sign up.
What is it like? Cross promote. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm all about that. Cross promote. So. Man, that's so dope. Like I'm excited about it. And again, hey, you say the word, I'm there.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah. So next, honestly, is really this year. I told myself I'm trying to be very intentional. My word for the year is intention. And so everything I do this year, I just want to be sure I'm doing it with the right intention and that it's going to they say like the work you do now, you'll see the results 30 days later.
That's true.
So that's my goal. It's like, okay, every day, what am I doing today that's going to better this community, that's going to help me grow, whether it's professionally or personally. Correct. So this year, that's really what I'm trying to do. So I opened up my creative studio. So I'm now available for rentals. I made my rentals very affordable. So if anyone hosts an event there, it's $50 an hour. And then vendors, I'm doing a vendor special for $20 an hour. Wow. So you can come use our space any day of the week, anytime. We're open, Sunday through Sunday.
You said this is in the Heights?
Yes, in the Heights. Perfect. 9 a.m. to midnight. You can rent it out anytime. And vendors can come and set up inside with electricity so they don't have to worry about the weather. And it's $20 an hour for vendors.
You cannot beat that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Telling y'all that right now.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that my vendors will start to come and use my space to, sell in person. Because, for vendors, like they can only set up at markets if they work from home. Well, now they have a space that they can use. So...
And not only that, with how crazy the weather is here in Houston, we just had snow.
Right.
And I just told him this the other day when it was like really, really cold. I was like, I don't know why for the life of me anybody's doing any kind of markets right now, outdoor ones especially, because this weather is unpredictable and it's way too cold. And then one of them said, "Yeah, we just did one last week. It was windy. It was cold." They're like, "We just packed up and left because nobody was out there." I'm like, I wouldn't even think of signing up for one.
No, exactly.
With weather like that. So that you having an indoor space, I think that's dope.
Yeah, and so I'm just trying to be, like I said, intentional with everything I'm doing, where I'm showing up at, who I'm showing up for and with.
Correct.
And just trying to keep myself surrounded by other, people who are going to help motivate me. That's really my goal.
You're motivating me right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like I was already excited about this because I saw what you did and what you do. But I was like, now just getting to know you and talk to you is kind of like, oh, this is dope because we think alike in the stuff that we spoke about.
And honestly, just like where I'm from, like I'm from a poor family. Like there was times we had to get food from the church. Our electricity was cut off, so I really wanted to kind of do this and put myself out there so other girls who were like me, from the hood, broke. I had one pair of shoes the whole school year, who didn't really come from much to see, like, you can really do anything if you have the ambition and the I would really say, like, the work ethic. Yeah. Because that's something nobody can take from you is your work ethic. Yeah. They could tell you no a million times, but you just get up and keep going, you're going to get there. So really being able to have this platform now, it's like I want all the little girls and boys who from, second ward, third ward, sixth ward, first ward, everywhere, who maybe, their parents are fighting downstairs, their parents are divorced, they're in single, parent households, they might have to wear the same pair of jeans all week, to know you can get out of that cycle. You don't have to be there. You can, come and do whatever you want.
That's why we do what we do, because I want people to know, because I'm old. Yeah. Like I'm old. Like I'm usually older than everybody that's around me. So it's kind of like if I started this late and you're younger than me, use it as a motivation. Kind of like, well, if I start now, then who knows? It sounds so cliche, but the consistent part is it's the best part. Work ethic and being consistent. Yeah. I think those are the two main things for you to grow, because with the podcast, we've never really had a reliable studio. Yeah. Like we've bounced around, rented spaces, and then it didn't go well, so we ended up leaving and whatever, right? But I never stopped. Yeah. I was like, well, I got my phone, I invested in some mics. I'll just do episodes like that and wherever I can. And for the last 2 years, we've won awards. Like we got our awards right there from Broadcast Houston.
That's amazing.
And then last year we won Latinx Hip Hop Best Podcast, and we just won it again back to back. And mind
congratulations.
Thank you. It's a voting system, and we never asked anyone to vote. We never shared it in our story and said, "Hey, y'all go vote for us," because I said, you know what? If I'm gonna win, I want the people to just say. I don't want to have to be telling people to vote for me and feeling like they have to owe me anything. No, if you feel like we deserve it, go on and vote for us. And we ended up winning, so it's just being consistent. It's just constantly being and moving and work, man. Like I feel like I'm one of the few people that I can't be outworked. Like there's, and I think you think the same way, because you got your hands in a lot of things as well. So. Any events coming up?
Yeah, so I actually have a self-love event happening February 7th. Okay. So it's almost like our Galentine's event. Okay. We're providing snacks. We got a complimentary glass of wine for all our guests from a women-owned winery here in Houston. So, not a winery, but she owns a wine company called 830 Vines, and she's a Houston local. We also are doing like free wellness shots at the door for the first 20 guests. First 25 guests get swag bag filled with merch. Guests are getting a single rose bouquet, and we're doing Polaroid Valentine's photo shoots for all our guests.
Nice.
We also have a vendor market with about 20 women-owned businesses that are going to be shopping, to shop from, as well as a self-love panel. So we're going to be talking about emotional maturity, romance. How do you keep romance when you've been in, a relationship? Or how do you feel about your body image? And how do you love yourself? And how does loving yourself affect your relationships with other people? Yeah. So all my events, I love to have a discussion at the end of them because we're going to have fun. We're Houston Hotties.
Yeah.
The Hotties are turning up. We're having fun.
I love that.
But we're also working on ourselves.
Yeah,
we're also healing. We're also growing, and I love to say, look, you could be a hottie, you could be a mom, you could be a boss, you could be a church girl, you could be conservative, you can do all these things, and so I really want, when women come to my events, for them to have fun, learn something, feel great, and know that they now have a community who supports them.
I love that.
Thank you.
I think that's great because although we don't have anything in play like that, but with the relationships that I have with people,
honestly, the podcast, it's thought provoking. So anyone who watches it, they're gonna.
Oh yeah, some of the people we've had on, some of the topics that we talk about, it brings a conversation about, especially with the brown community for us because we wanted to. That's really initially why we started to showcase and highlight those local businesses don't really get that shine.
Yeah.
Because you got your, white podcast, black platforms, There wasn't, at the time, there wasn't too many for the Latinos, so.
Honestly, I feel like Latinos always get kind of pushed to the side. We get kind of brushed under the rug, because I feel like there's always a war between the other ethnicities, and we're kind of just like, we're stuck in the middle almost. We're like, man, so it's nice to see Latinos coming together, and especially Latinos from we come in all different shades. So
for sure.
Seeing all of them come together and you being able to bring that platform for us is amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you. We pride ourselves in trying to do that, and we've done a pretty good job, I would say. So yeah, that's dope. I love everything I'm hearing. We definitely got to run it back. And again, if you need me at any of your events to do media,
I would love to just collaborate with y'all on an event too. That would be amazing. If you for your toy drive, let me know and see if we can sponsor, get something.
December 14th.
Okay,
we already got the date.
Yes, all right, I got it.
We do. We've been doing it the last 2 years, and this will be our third year at Spindle Tap Brewery.
Okay,
it's not too far from here. Yeah. We do our Embrace the Culture event. That's like our big, Super Bowl or, event that we that's like our big event of the year. And we do it there as well. Yeah. We love it there. And then it's close, it's in the city, because we have an event in June, Summer Jam. We do that in Ucani.
Okay.
At the Food Zone Grand, Texas with my boy Vic. They got a thing called Chicken Heads.
Really?
It's the hot chicken, spicy chicken. Yeah, really good, man. I'm not just saying that because that's my boy.
You just have to send me the calendar so I can just pull up on y'all.
I'm going to tell you what's funny. Like when he came to do his episode, he brought me food. And I was eating the whole time.
I should have brought gifts.
I was just eating the whole time, and I put it on camera. I said, "Look, just so y'all know, if you don't hear me talking, this is what I'm doing."
It's a mukbang.
Yeah, exactly. Any last minute shout outs or anything you want to do?
I mean, I want to thank all the women that have been supporting me from day one with no followers till now. And if you're a woman in Houston and you've been looking for a community that is welcoming, that is going to empower you, that's going to, support you, this is the community for you. Houston Hottie Social Hour. We don't discriminate against race, religion, anything. We welcome all walks of life in our community.
Dope. I love the energy, man. Just the mindset.
Yeah.
I think it's where it starts. How you think. And it's attractive. It attracts people to want to be a part of something like that. Because when I tell you, I've met so many artists, vendors, and just people in general that come to our events that are like, man, I've never been to anything like this. I've never seen anything where like the vibes are unmatched like this. Like people look forward to doing or coming to an event. And we only do 3 a year.
Yeah.
Because we try to kind of just keep it exclusive like that. But no, we appreciate everybody that watches, man. We've grown organically. We're now monetized on YouTube. We're just growing daily. And this is a part of it. You know, so all of you guys that come and be on the show, like y'all help because now your network
gets to see yes.
Oh, like I didn't know this was out here, you know, and then it's one of us, you know, type of thing or whatever, or not, you know. We rock with everybody, you know. So we were gonna put a link in the description where they can follow you on all your socials, you know, any websites, you know. We'll put it all in the description. Make sure you guys go follow her and everything she's got going on. Go support, man. Like I can tell we just met, but I can tell she a real one, you know. She a good people. So. Again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe, like button. Drop a comment as well, you know. And we appreciate you guys watching. So on that note, we are Them Damn Mexicans.